Sam installs the throttle and kickdown cables on Teddy's 92 Camaro. Once again, Lokar Performance comes through with the right parts to get the job done.
I was introduced to Lokar Performance in 2003 when we were building Hondas and Toyota Supras, but when we built the drag cars, the factory transmissions wouldn't last. So we had to use GM 350s, Power Glides, and 400s to make the Supras go fast. So Lokar, they make it possible for all engine swaps to be done in any vehicle. In this case, I got Teddy's car from Ed Morse Automotive Group back in the shop, throttle cable for the throttle body and the kickdown cable for the 700R transmission. I've got an Edelbrock style throttle body on top. So Kevin and Travis gave me two possibilities. One of them is going to work just fine. Once these two items are in place, the car is going to be mobile, running, and then Teddy can pick it up. Kevin gave me 3 kits. This is similar to an Edelbrock old school throttle body, but it's GM. The fuel rails get in the way. So this guy right here, which would have been my first choice, does not fit because it contacts the rail right there. So I took the one bracket that's similar to this, that's very close. I grinded all this away and put a spacer to shim it up from the throttle body, giving me a 90-degree angle. If I didn't do that, it would have been like a slight 10-degree angle and it wouldn't have worked. The cables would have gone this way. So what I did was I installed that piece on the throttle body. Now the next procedure is going to be my kickdown cable. The first thing we're going to do is pull the inside cable out. We're going to install our O-rings. We're going to install the cable, measure it up, hook it up to the bracket, making sure this is secure, and then we're going to pull it out again, put in our inner cable, measure it at full throttle, cut it, tie it in place, then go back and secure this. I got the outside cable going around the left side of my distributor, gives it a nice even path for it to stay put and not get binded on everything. I'm going to give it just a little bit of slack. I'm going to cut it right here, put my sleeve on it, and then I can go down there by putting my inner cable, hooking it up to the hook, and then cutting the inside cable. So I got my outside cable for my kickdown cable secure and installed. Now I'm going to go back to the transmission, pull it out of the transmission, fish my inside cable up, come up here, put it over here. I'm not going to cut and fully adjust this until my throttle cable is installed and at full throttle. So now I have pulled my outer cable back out of the transmission. This guy right here is going to go on a hook that is hanging right there. I'm going to put this over the hook, just like that. Don't forget, you guys need to lube those O-rings with some Soglize so that you don't have any binds putting it in the transmission. After adjusting the throttle cable, this bracket kept moving, and the last thing you want is for your stationary bracket to move. It's got to be stationary for everything to work properly. So I took the set screw and jam nut off the other bracket, drilled a 964 drill bit, used an 8/32 tap, transferred over, and now it's stationary and solid. I've got everything working with my throttle body itself and the pedal down there. I'm going to have Julie go full throttle, and then I'm going to adjust my kickdown cable by pulling it all the way when she's at full throttle and setting my jam nut. And then you know you're set. This is on a GM. If it was a Ford or a Chrysler, in most cases you have to use a pressure gauge. That turned out pretty good. Now the guys at Lokar did say they had no part numbers for the specific kit, so a little bit of modifications isn't going to hurt anybody. Don't be afraid to do so to get you guys through the job. Just do it with integrity, make it last a long time, and you should be good to go. Don't forget, when it comes to a setup like this, the most important thing is the kickdown cable. Make sure you guys adjust that accordingly, properly, so the transmission lives long, and you should be good to go. Now, all I got to do is fix the fuel pump. For some reason it doesn't work, and this guy should be running soon.